Good afternoon, everyone. It's time to get started. I don't know why I said that so creepy, but it's time to get started on today's closing live stream. I'm seeing some things develop here, so I wanted to make sure to be live to show you guys because I told you I would kind of show how I'm going to take the Nvidia trade if I'm going to take it. Now, I'm not going to just take it because I want to. I want to wait till that setup actually comes, so we're going to be paying attention to GME and AMC as well today. If you're a part of my Patreon, I just told you, hey, pay attention to a 5-minute chart. Pay attention to a 5-minute chart. But real quick, what I wanted you to see on your screen here is the put call ratio, okay, the PCC today, and we're noticing it is starting to build up. Now, what happened since I was gone with the SPY? We got to take all of this into context before we can even talk about Nvidia. We went down towards that daily expected move, and now we are seeing some kind of bounce, right? If we look at a 5-minute chart, maybe another drop is coming just to push the PCC even higher to make it so calls are a little bit cheaper. So the fact that I know if there's a downturn, people are going to buy puts, and we might see a rigged move down that creates some kind of divergence and then some kind of pop at the end of the day, I want to be paying very close attention because that means I need to be quick. Make sure not to buy any position on Nvidia until that signal actually forms. That is a very, very important thing. Maybe I want to go pop over and look at XLU. XLU is able to hold up better than the SPY right now, and it's holding up better than the SPY in general when you look at these levels. So XLU is still holding up better than the SPY. That is a key note to pay attention to. As we go into the dollar, first of all, I wanted to go into a 15-minute and just show you guys this drop off right here says more insider buying. Now you're going to see that trickle up as the stock market actually heads lower. But the key thing is the dollar moved lower right before the sell-off came, which means they actually bought in that area. Okay. And the area that I'm talking about for the SPY is going to be this area right here. You see this bounce up. Okay. That is going to be the dollar or the sell-off right before the sell-off. It was actually right here, I believe. Yes, it was right here, I believe. So right here, we notice another bundle where the dollar actually went down dramatically right here. It went down dramatically right here. And then what happened shortly after that? Well, we see the market head down and the dollar starts to bounce a little bit. That makes total sense, but the dollar already made the downward move. So this is just a tricky way to make some kind of trap in the market. This is what we're paying attention to today. And I have to take all of that into consideration when trading Nvidia. So as we go over Nvidia real quickly, we want to make sure the signals are forming. And then when I'm looking for that signal, what do I want? Well, this hourly was able to cross up. What I want to be able to see is if they can go sideways most of the day, see some kind of pop up by the end of the day, or maybe by the beginning of the day tomorrow, we can see that pop up and then that was rug pulled after the retail hour. I think that would be a very telling sign. And I want this to be outside of my weekly expected move, which lies right around here. Okay, so taking all that to consideration, that would say this might see one more pump up. Am I going to trade that pump up? No, because nothing is telling me. If anything, it's saying the easier trade is about to come. So I'm going to be very, very patient with it. And I'm going to wait for the setup. If the setup doesn't come, I do not take the trade. I'm just going to do one contract. I'm going to do it very close just to show you guys I can manage this trade. I'm going to do it 2 weeks out, expiration at the $1,000 price. And I'm just going to do one contract to show it to you guys, okay? Just to show you how to manage the trade. And I'm going to manage this trade actively throughout the trade. The reason that I'm only doing 2 out is because I'm also looking for maybe a 2-hour divergence. So I'm going to pretend this is like a 2-hour divergence play. And since it is a 2-hour divergence play, I'm not necessarily going to manage that on a higher time frame. Now, there are daily divergences that can confirm, and I can always roll the position. That's perfectly fine. But I think this will be rigged to where maybe this drops down and bounces right back up. So I'm going to be very quick with it in my risk management. I know that this stock is rigged, but that doesn't mean someone with my type of skill can't play it. Okay, so I'm going to be paying attention to this. What has AMC and GME been doing? Well, something we were mentioning over on the Patreon was just look at the 5-minute chart. You're going to see bounces with that 5-minute chart. Okay, now at this level, what would you say in here? Well, this looks like cup and handle to me, but there's also potential for us to go negative here on the 5-minute. GME, what does this look like? Well, it looks like cup and handle trying to form, but we could go negative on the 5-minute, so we have to pay attention to that. This crossing right here might say get out, and the other crossing back up might say get right back in. A 5-minute chart we can pay attention to. Just know the T+1 could mess things up, and then you're probably going to see a big upward move in the morning. We'll have to pay attention unless they're able to fight back. Then you could see that downward move. Maybe Nvidia pops, and then right when people get bullish on Nvidia and bearish on GME and AMC, things actually start to flip the other direction. So we're paying attention to a lot. But overall, I just have Nvidia up on the other screen because I was able to. I actually did take a position just in GME, just in case, right? I just bought a little bit of shares right here. That's all I did. I'm not going to take a call option. Those things are going bonkers right now. So I'm just going to buy a few shares. That's all I'm doing overall with GME. So I am officially in GME, AMC, and I have option plays in AMC and the stock, and I have the stock in GME. So those are overall my plays right now for some upside. And then I'm looking for anything that produces any kind of downside move for me. Okay. Now, what did we say about Nvidia this morning? Well, it looks like we could get some kind of move down that creates maybe a potential divergence. This is important because what are we seeing? We're actually seeing a higher low. Very, very good, but right around that 160.83, another key level. Very key level there for AMD, and maybe this pops back up, right? We see a prolonged move. We'll have to pay attention. I overall want to look at Nvidia and say I want to see some kind of weakness in shorter time frames for a better position. If I don't, then I'm just going to see if there's a 1 hour or 2 hour divergence to play. Then I'll manage the trade. As far as it goes, looking forward, we talked about, I think one of the trade setups was someone was asking a lot about Meta. We're up in an area where we might need to gather up some steam to go a little bit higher, right? So looking at the 2 hour, this is what we're paying attention to. If we can head just a little bit higher, that's what I'd really like to see here. Another little push higher, a push higher for Nvidia, and then up in these areas, we start to see weakness around our weekly expected move early on in the week, being, by the end of the day today, or even going on into Tuesday. So we're paying attention to everything here, making sure that this trade sets up for us. If it does not set up for us today and it happens overnight, we don't take the trade. We are very, very safe with it. SMCI was something people were talking about as well. Just know that this thing has been beat up. You're starting to see little divergences down here, and you could see some kind of bounce back into the zone for some kind of lower high tomorrow. Okay, so I overall said last week that, if I timed it out, if I had to guess and I had to time it out, Tuesday looks like a day where we could really see some stuff act really funky. And I think we're going to see that towards the end of the day and going into Tuesday. So just pay attention out there. And I hope you guys have had a lot of fun trading this market. It's been very interesting. And thank you so much for joining the closing stream. Make sure to leave a like for me on the channel there for this video so more people can get in here, because we just started doing closing streams. I've had to work really hard in between. That way I can be here for these closing streams. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys could give me a like on the video. Thank you, thank you, thank you if you have. Now let's maybe look around at some stuff. We always want to be looking at something. Okay, volatility. Now, this is what I was expecting out of volatility. That's why I sold it first thing in the morning, okay? Even though I could have maybe seen a little bit more upside in the very early parts of the morning, I am just risk managed. I made about 170% on that option. So I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to see this volatility bounce. Awesome, it bounced. And now this could curl back down into negative territory. And this is what you want to be paying attention to. If Nvidia can make some kind of hourly divergence at the same time as volatility making some kind of 30-minute divergence, that is something to pay attention to. If the SPY can make some kind of big daily divergence, 2 hour divergence, whatever I want to look for, right, at the same time as the VIX, that's when you want to be paying attention. We could see a run up over the next couple of days. What are we seeing? We're seeing a bounce as of right now. XLU is standing up at higher levels, so we would expect the SPY to catch up. Now, XLU has not turned back up this 15-minute MACD, this 30-minute MACD, right? It hasn't turned up, but it looks like it's just about to, and that's why I was going live right now, because I figured this could be a time where we actually do see a solid bounce. I want to see, are these going up? So puts are still a little bit right in the middle. So we need this to get above 0.95 for the puts to start to be a little bit cheaper, or for the calls to be a little bit cheaper. I'm sorry, I just said that wrong. So puts are still cheap as far as it goes. It needs to get up here for calls to be cheap, and then the market maker algorithm will say, oh, calls are cheap, and then boom, it'll start to bounce in the market. That's how you have to look at it. That's how we catch these rig moves, at least lately, right? It's not going to work all the time, but I think that it's a good likelihood we're going to see stuff like that. So what am I looking for on the SPY? Well, first of all, if this happens by the end of the day, maybe this is just some kind of pop, and then I get a 15-minute divergence here, and there's more work to be done down here, okay? So we need to pay attention to the trade actually setting up, be patient, and just wait, right? Wait. It will work out for you if you're able to wait. Inverse head and shoulders on Nvidia could take us higher. Anyone notice Microsoft and Amazon charts are basically identical in the past 2 weeks? A lot of things will behave very similarly lately. Like lately, you're probably going to see a lot of things behave pretty similarly. Like we're noticing XLU and SPY kind of work in tandem now. XLU is making the moves earlier, but notice that Tesla looks like this. AMD looks like this, sideways again. And Meta, all three of them kind of have this weird sideways. Now, Meta had a bigger dip down, but you'd have to say Meta, Tesla, and AMD all look very similar. And the funny thing about that is they're all very close to the center line and crossing over into negative territory, right? Meta is the closest. AMD's right there. Tesla is right there. So all of it points to just watch out ahead. If there's any kind of pop, you still have to be careful. The SPY is at very high levels right now. And we have the potential for something crazy to happen, right? That GME AMC stuff is nothing to mess with right now. The 2-hour has not been able to curl back down, so that trade is looking perfectly fine. If you're being risk managed in this is what we're overall going to do with Nvidia. You'd still be in this play. I mean, the 2-hour crossing up tells you if you're swing trading it to still be in this play in my book. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these streams. I hope you guys are learning a lot. That's the overall point of these streams, is to just learn as much as possible. I think we could get some kind of squeeze up and then just see some kind of slight daily divergence here over the next day or two, right? If we can end the day going up towards this area, and then the next day we go green, Wednesday might be the day where it's all ripped away, so that trap might be set. We're going to pay attention to that. Now, if that's not happening, right, if we do not see weakness in the upward push, then we have to take it with a grain of salt. But what if there's no weakness in the upward push for the SPY or the Qs? We don't see it in the shorter time frames, but we do see it over in Nvidia. That would be very, very telling. And there is divergence at these levels. Okay, there's weekly divergence at these levels. Very, very crazy. So what am I looking for? Still this 2-hour. I think the 2-hour divergence will complete. I think it'll be pretty simple. And then I just have to manage the trade in case I have the timing wrong. I'm going to start telling you when I take a play, I need you to tell me to sit down and wait. Yeah, you got to be patient. Just you got to think of it like there's a million different stocks out there. There will be a setup for me that is very, very simple. That's how you have to think about it. Oh, big update. I went outside. I did not touch grass. Actually, technically, my shoes touched grass because I walked I walked my dogs. But I did go outside and my desk is here. So we will have most likely I'll have the full setup going on into tomorrow. I'm going to try to work on that tonight. Everything just looks mediocre. Perfect. What is your risk if everything looks mediocre? 0. You want to wait till it looks great. That's when you go at AMC 6K at 525. Hey, look at that. I also write with crayons. There you go, Scott. Well, we could take a look over at AMC for you. Remember, this thing is going to be a rough one. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But if we just sit here, we just remain positive, things can slowly start to turn up. The more time that it spends at this $5 mark for AMC, the more pressure they are under. And GME especially can really put them under pressure here, okay? So if GME looks like it wants to curl up this 15-minute, look at that. It looks like it wants to try to make the push. So that would be a big sign. AMC as well, looks like a big sign could be coming. Now it looks like little head and shoulders could form, right? We're not saying it has to all go up right away. This could pull all the way down and people say, haha, AMC is terrible, GME is terrible, you all are gonna lose, we have Nvidia, it's way up here, and then the next day that's just ripped away. I think that's a very likely scenario. I don't know if I'm being patient or misreading the charts. Which chart are you looking at, Johnson? Which chart are you looking at? Let's see it. Let's see if you're just overthinking things. It's very good. Like, I just think of things very simply. That's why I'm able to break things down very quickly. No. If you're being patient on Nvidia, you're doing the right thing. This is the right thing. You're chilling. What you'd really like to happen is even buy another couple 15-minute bars where this like kind of drifts down, I think, right? Even going on into later today or maybe into tomorrow, you drift down and then that reaction comes up. This still could fall back down, but you remember the last time we beat on the door a few times, we started to bust through, right? I think it was down in here. Look at this, busting through this door right here. Look at that. Look at that right there. Boom, gap up. So you could do this type of thing again. I would have liked to see more of a dip down for Nvidia. I think that would have convinced them to raise up this PCC, and it's slowly going up. It's slowly going up. Exactly what the market makers want. And then just always be keeping our eye on XLU. If this thing is looking green, if this crosses up, then most likely the SPY will. But remember, it took 2 days for the SPY to do the move that XLU did. So we could see some kind of downturn first, but really it looks like we want to make an upward push. More as the day goes, what do you think of the Qs? The Qs still have the same look. Now, this is 15-minute positive territory, 15-minute. I'm saying Nvidia most likely, I think, makes another upward push. Now, that's most likely. But the signals here are telling me, hey, this has some upside if I can cross on this MACD, which means it's probably going to test this high, right? Test the high, or go make a new one. We could just see this surge by the end of the day. And remember, the Qs do not have to make that new high. The SPY can. The SPY can. You notice the weekly expected move a little bit higher up for the SPY. The Qs, it's right at this bundle. So the Qs could get some kind of higher low, or lower high, sorry. Had a nice win. Pick up BRKB at near the bottom. Hey, there you go. That shit was wild. I heard one guy was able to buy like 40 shares of BRKA at like 185, and I was like, no fucking way. Now, we still want to be aware, if this put-call ratio isn't high enough, they might do something funky for a short period of time, right? We might see a 5-minute divergence created outside of that daily expected move. And that doesn't mean we have to go like this. It doesn't mean we have to. You want to let the signals tell you. Let them tell you what is happening. If they do this and you see this cross over, then you have a high probability. If you do not see that, you could just end up down here. You want the signals to tell you what to do, and then you just get ready to push the buttons. I'm ready to push the buttons. I'm ready to push the buttons. That's all I'm doing. I'm ready to push the buttons. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm sitting here, waiting. I'm going like this. Okay, cool. I got like, what? Probably 6 more hours to watch this if I want to. That's why I just keep clicking around, because I know that I have time with this. BRK was a glitch. That's why I'm like, how was he able to buy it? Some dude tweeted that. And I was just like, there's no freaking way. Like, I just like opened Twitter for a split second to see if like, I don't know, Roaring Kitty tweeted or something. And then that's the tweet that popped up. I read one tweet and I was like, there's no way you bought that, but I have like, should have done 12th, 10th at least. I got greedy. Okay, Hood would let me buy it, but I assume they just take it back later. Let's go look at Hood real quick. Oh, that's good. That's not Hood. That's good. Hood's not good. Hood is Hood. So Hood does have a 2-hour divergence. So what I would really see, are you going to complete, and then you have a daily divergence. Oh man, Hood is, see, like this is what I'm saying. Like I shouldn't even take the Nvidia play. There's stocks like this that look a little bit better. Like this looks good. Maybe I see, ooh, that's already faded. See, the price action is going to be weird on the shorter ones. I think you really want to see completions. Maybe the hourly. Yeah, see the hourly turn up, give you another point of divergence up towards $22. Tell me we're not in a bubble. We are, yeah. I agree, 50x. Where are the sellers? They're right around the corner. They're waiting for one more chance because they got to pay for AMC and GME. They're waiting for this to go up and people start to short Nvidia, and then that's when they are going to rug pull it. So they are going to wait all day until that builds up, and then they're going to probably push it higher, and that will cause a lot of bad things. You can see. What's the stock market right now? Just look at it like this. The SPY is red. The dollar is red. That is insider buying. There is some kind of push that is going to come most likely. Now, the only other way you could read into this is unless they're going liquid, selling assets and going liquid in order to pay for AMC and GME, but you would expect to see some kind of buying come in there. HYG, now we just want to look over maybe at 15 minutes because the SPY is about to cross up. HYG looks like it might be about to cross up. XLU, right? We just look at that briefly again. XLU crossing up as of right now. Looks like it could in the next 30 minutes or so. Remember, it could come down for a stronger base. It doesn't mean it has to. If this rejects, then you know 5-minute divergence could be down here. Same with the SPY. If the 15-minute just rejects here, then 5-minute divergence could be formed here. If it does not prove that signal, then there's no reason to take a trade. I'm just being patient. Upside at the current price? I think it does, but the fact that I think it does doesn't matter. I need to see the signals telling me. So if this crosses over, then yes, the signals would be telling me there is upside potential for AMD. And AMD could complete the signal that I'm paying attention to. Really, I'm going to play Nvidia just to show you guys it might be complicated. I'll show you how to stay risk managed. Maybe I get lucky and it's not that difficult, but I'm going to watch it like a hawk. This is a great play. If AMD pops up for a 2-hour chart, like pops up for midway through the day tomorrow, and then we just see that ripped away at the end of the day, that would be a great trade. And we want to pay attention to the weekly expected moves. It's a pretty big move. Yeah, we're just waiting for the right time, and then we go for it. That's what I do. I sit, I'm patient, I'm nice and calm, and I wait for the moment. Right now is not the moment. Not the moment. They could pull this down again for a whole day to cause that put ratio, right? To cause more puts to come into the market and then rip it to the call side. Yes, I did. I closed it this morning. I knew, I've traded the volatility a lot. I was doing UVXY, so I know I got to be quick with it. And I sold right at the open this morning. I made 170%. And look at that. That trade took 1 day. But I still did my strategy. I still did 2 weeks out. On these little 30-minute plays, even 2-hour plays sometimes, I like to do 2 weeks out. And then if it's a 2-hour to daily, if there's a daily behind it, I can do a month out. But the Nvidia one, I know that it's probably going to be ripped around. So I just want to make a quick buck and then see a signal to get out. And that's when I will get out of the trade. This one here, I just could read into it the next day. Volatility was holding up better than UVXY, than the SPY, right? Volatility was holding up better, so I expected some kind of downturn this morning. I wanted to take that play with you, but went to Nvidia like a dingus. Yeah. See, it's like you can implement the strategy and you still end up selling the next day. A lot of the time the move does happen the next day, which actually helps if you're using a low amount of money because, right, the thing on certain platforms where if you don't have $25,000 or something like that, you can't day trade. So these type of things will allow you to kind of give it 24 hours. I think they'll blame it on data. But tomorrow we do get some data. We'll have to see. So what are we looking for volatility though? You need this to cross over negative territory. That's most likely the moment where things start to pop. So I think maybe by the rigged hour, right? In the last hour of trading, 33% of trading, and it's been more than that lately. It's been like 45% of trading has been happening. 45% of the volume has been happening at the end of the day from last week. So IWM, this one's one to keep your eye on, curling up, maybe positive territory. This one might run, but also this one's basing out as well. So we have the Dow Jones basing out, trying to, right? It needs to curl up. Then let's look over at Apple for a moment, starting to curl down. 15-minute getting close to the center line, pops up. 15-minute divergence might be there outside of the weekly expected move. These are all setups. Yeah, I'm just doing till not this Friday, next Friday for Nvidia. I'm going to be quick with it. I do not like to trade Nvidia. So I'm literally going to take a shorter term trade just to be like, I'm out. And then if it makes another swing up, I'm gonna be like, I'm out. And then if I apply that money back in, then I'll take a longer position if I want to even do Nvidia again. Because Nvidia is like, you guys don't think I get like nervous about it. It's like, I know this is rigged to the upside. So I need to be a little bit like, ugh, about it. And don't tell me there's divergence. They're going to bait you with divergences. If it's going to drop, that's most likely a trap. Why can't Nvidia sell off? Because they're going to use it one more time to most likely build up some more money and then steal that money. They need The reason Nvidia can't sell off is because the put call ratio isn't high enough. I think it needs to be higher. If the put call ratio is higher, I think Nvidia will pop. Does that mean take an upside trade? Well, I keep saying they're about to rug pull it, so it's very scary to try to take an upside trade on a stock that is most likely going to be rug pulled soon. And then you'll probably get a dead cat bounce once that split happens. When's the split? Then it drops. Yeah, split's on Friday. It's too long. I think it's too far away. I think this will all build up by maybe tomorrow afternoon. That's why I'm being patient with it. I'm showing how patient you have to be. I still need to maybe monitor it at the end of today, just in case, right? But most likely I'm going to see like some kind of 15-minute, I'm going to see like a push, a drop, and a push. And then this will be the signal, right? So what I want to look for is any kind of weakness. I know I'm trading based on if the 2 hour sets up the play or the hourly sets up the play, but I want to get in a little bit tighter when that hourly or 2 hour could cross over. So I want to maybe even look at a 5 minute, just find a little 5 minute divergence up here that tells me some sort of weakness is there, and that would be my first scale in. Gaps to 1300. I would say I'll be managing the trade just in case that happens, but I highly would assume that's not going to happen. You want to email me the 20K? AMD, just see if that turns up. All you have to do is keep an eye. Like if we're going to make the move, then XLU will just be pretty chill. It'll just do what it did last time, right? It'll do what it did last time. Right? It'll curl up this 30-minute, SPY, curl up and reject on this 30-minute. And this is sometimes where you can read into futures as well, right? Do like a 1 hour, which is like a 15-minute on the SPY. That sees another push higher like this, goes for it briefly, and then you see as it maybe fades, it starts to complete the divergence. So we're paying attention to a lot. Bitcoin, getting that retest. We'll have to see what happens there. Just know they probably have assets that are Bitcoin as well. I think Bitcoin still, even though it's like looking like a good upside move could come, it's like, well, you have the same type of divergence that could form right here. So you just want to make sure no weakness signals are showing if you're planning on upside for Bitcoin. It could just surge. Is this about 6 grand? It could surge to like 74.5K and then just drop right off. We shall see, because Mara is showing the 2 hour signal. And I think Mara has a good shot to set this up over the next couple of days. If the 2 hour signal sets up here, it would be Mara bounces up into the sell zone. We got a bunch of divergences up here. See the RSI just slowly going down. Now we get one more pop, and then you see that maybe even taper out a little bit. Taper this way. Dow seems more beat up. I don't know if it seems better. I mean, it just curled up on the 2 hour. That looks like a slanted. Shoulders could be forming there. We'll see. MC is strong. We'll see. Overall, I just want to see the 30-minute here, see that curl over, see that curl up. Is there weakness up in this area? That's going to be a very big hint. The thing is, I think they have to, at this point, leak it into tomorrow because they need that call ratio, or they need the call ratio to go back up. So they need it to be like cheaper to get calls, or more expensive to get calls, therefore they can have cheap puts. Keep talking incorrectly, but they really want to most likely see this get up towards 0.956. Then that'll say, hey, calls are cheap. Then the market bounces dramatically. Everyone thinks it is the overall booming move. Nvidia's going ham. Oh, look, Nvidia split is bullish. And then it goes down to this level again, and we see that ripped away. Because the data we got today was not that bad. I think it was actually pretty good. All right, let's not click around anymore. Sorry, my ADHD was getting to me. I know I was clicking around a lot. Thank you guys so much for liking the channel. Thank you guys so much for a few people joining the Patreon. I just posted a couple things that I think are important to pay attention to. I think Nvidia crossing up on the hourly as of right now is pretty important. And then also just 5-minute charts on the meme stocks is overall what I'm getting at with that post on Patreon. GDP did come in super soft, and the yields reacted according to that. That was one of our hints that last week was a trap. Was if we're still in the same market of inflation is bad and therefore data that brings inflation coming down is good, then technically the market should go up. Now that will flip eventually and no one will expect it. They're kind of like training you. They're kind of training you like a dog to like bad things. And then you're going to see one bad thing, which is unemployment. So that's what I'm talking about with Friday as well. Unemployment comes out on Friday. Hey, just wanted to say thanks. What did you do, Claudio? Where's the coin? I actually made NFTs once when I was like a big TikTok star. I made NFTs once. We called it Jack Santa, and it was a crypto thing, and we made like NFTs. But I was like, after I made them, I was like, wait, this NFTs are just a get rich quick scheme. And then I just went back to trading. I was like, it was fun though. I didn't have to do any of the art. I just came up with the idea. We did it around Christmas time for fun. ENPH. Okay, so this one, slight divergence up here. So slight divergence, that gave you that drop. And it was the 30-minute. Okay. So the 30-minute is going positive. I would see if I could test this high again. You kind of need a reason to take the trade. I'm seeing if the hourly is going to be clear. So the only time I switch over to the hourly is if it looks like it's going to be more clear. So if I'm going to see a clear trade here, first of all, the hourly told you right here was weakness. So there's the big downturn, and then your risk management told you that a pop was coming, so you should be out around these areas. And then boom, we come back down. If this is able to cross back up, I'd look for that to be brief, maybe test these levels up here. Because if you're able to have it be brief and that rolls back down, well, you're going to have a triple divergence right here, right by the center line. That's a good look for some downside there. Or end phase. Check the daily. Where's that at? Yeah, you're still within range if this crosses over, because this would be here when it crosses over to that center line. You're still in range. You're a little bit higher up, so you do have potential to hold up in positive territory for the daily scale. Look, AMD really wants to cross. Everyone's going to front run it and say, oh my God, it's so bearish. And all we have to see is this 30-minute curl up by the end of the day. And we know AMD is going to probably push higher. Just for your style, very helpful. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I wish I could play music, but you guys know I always get demonetized. And that's like not fun. But one time I just hummed a song and got demonetized. I was like, oh, Reddit. I'm down to look at Reddit. Now, Jim Cramer really likes Reddit stock, by the way, just so you guys know. He's complimented it multiple times lately. This looks very close to being a double bottom. You don't necessarily have the best divergences, but if this can cross up, look how close you are to the center line. So you might be bullish on Reddit if that can cross up, but the environment we're in, you got to be a little bit worried. Now, the cool part about this is you see the 2-hour divergence right here. Very good divergence here. Look at that. Entry point on this bar here. Sure, maybe risk management for a second. Right back in. Boom. Solid drop from 59 all the way down to 53. So solid 6-point move there. And let me go see a daily chart as well. Yeah, I'd like to see a daily divergence. And the 2-hour divergences like to roll that up. So this is a signal. You could see some push upward in Reddit. We'll see. Just pay attention because we're in a time where you could see a push up, and then right when you think it's bullish, it just crosses back down. So that's where risk management helps you out in the course. AAOI. What the hell is this? Oh, dear God. Okay, I thought it was going to be a penny stock. I was like, I hate doing, everyone wants me to do penny stock. That's pretty bearish look there. The daily momentum can just take over. The daily momentum can take over. Now, you did have divergence down here. Great divergence. But you notice once it gets positive, it just flips back over. Now, that could change by the end of the day. It's still in the same bar, but as of right now, that is a bearish look. Now, this doesn't mean it's all over. Maybe it just wants to taper a little bit better down here. It drops back down, and then you see that curl right back up. The environment we're in right now, I would say, you know, be a little bit cautious with anything that's curling over into negative territory when we're starting to make some, you know, key crash signals here. Sounded very nasally when I said here. Watch for those signals here. So what are you noticing? Well, XLU was able to cross up. It's crossed up right now. So if that continues, we expect the SPY to do the same. But look at the SPY. It's going to have that weakness in it because they're trying to bait in the puts. And they're not being too successful. So they might drop this off one more time. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic. My bad. Oh, I just saw, where's the coin? You meant like, let's flip a coin. No flip a coin. We'll save that for earnings. We will save that for the earnings. Berkshire Hathaway, now up 15% today. Being down, imagine being down 99%. And then being up 16% afterwards, after the glitch. What is XLU? XLU is utilities. It is a very good crash signal after a big run-up. So usually when the SPY has a run-up, you can go look at utilities. If utilities is having a major run-up at the same time, then you could say, hey, make sure it's not forming a crash signal. And we just happened to notice, we pointed it out very early on. We pointed it out during this run-up. You see the massive run-up, right? This happened at the same time as the SPY. Okay, we pointed out about here. And then now we've watched it form. Now it's trying to form it. What's it doing? Cup and handling, actually. Let's get the full cup completion here. Handle to go higher. Looks like that might happen. Now, that's the key thing. Looks like that might happen. We have a 15-minute that looks like it doesn't want to cross fully. We have to pay attention to that. Maybe the SPY has a little bit more work to do. Right? They did not get this level to go up on the PCC. They need that back up towards 0.95. What did you do? Dang! And this trade looked okay. There's entry right at the end of the day. Gap up, completely faded. This is what you have to be careful with on your charts right now. For anything with 2-hour divergence to the upside, just know this is what I think could happen in the market. So that stock you just had me look at, what was it called? AAOI or something like that? That's what I'm talking about. Like, this can happen. Where it just sees one pop up, baits people in, drops off. So that is something to really pay attention to here. I want to look on the daily. No, you're violating the divergence. If anything, you have flat divergence below the 200. That's very bearish. Gold, nice move. We said this one looked pretty good, right? The 2-hour divergences, they're playing out. There it is. Go up. All right. Now you just got to go positive, and then we can see a big positive move. Just make sure it's not doing exactly what the chart we just showed you is doing, right? Big pop. Oh, that can happen. That can happen. Oh, yeah. Let's look at DJT. We haven't looked at that in a minute. I'm ready to look at some DJT. Now, this one here was fun, because you had a divergence here, and we had a lot of people coming into my channel saying, this is going to go up. There's some big things happening. Watch out. Now, this stock is suppressed too, by the way. This has some short sellers in it. I don't know if there's naked short selling. I know there's short sellers in it. But overall, you would say, okay, boom, 2-hour divergence. We could go negative right here. All right, we get one more pop-up. Risk management important there, because the timing, you're right. You're just not right at that exact moment. And then the risk management in the course will help you out, tell you get out, get right back in. Okay, in that play, boom, downturn. So probably from 53 all the way down to 43, 10-point move in about 2 to 3 days. That's pretty good. As of right now, you still have a 2-hour that's positive. So you want to be paying attention to, is anything going to roll this thing up? And you need to roll up this 30-minute. There's nothing telling you this has to roll up. Now you do have a 15-minute divergence. You can read into that. But like I said, this is why I do 30-minute charts. I make sure it's on a 30-minute chart. I'm patient. I don't just play random 15-minute divergences. I will go find something else. I will go find something else that is the better setup. Now, this is an okay setup, but I like better setups. That's why even on the SPY during all this, I say it again, I could have made more money taking this play. I still played volatility because it gave me the better setup, and I still made 170% in 24 hours. Pretty much from Friday to this morning, I made 170%. I was up about 100% at the end of the day on Friday, and then I was up 170% this morning. I take my profit and I say, thank you. I will go buy some AMC and GME. What is the best thing to look for? Oil came down nicely today. Looking for an entry point. I really like the futures actually for oil. It's one of the futures I really enjoy. But I do a 2-hour chart and I look for any kind of signal that we're going to see a bounce. Now, what are we seeing here? Not the best signals. But you can do a 4-hour on this and now you see, okay, now I might be getting a higher low. I really like 4-hour charts. Now you've seen some crazy price action lately, but if this curls up, it's going to be close to the center line. This would be kind of like, but you're swing trading underneath the 200. See, we got rejected from the 200 there. Daily, what's it look like? Well, it had divergence for a split sec, right? It had divergence for a split sec, but if that just rolls over, it could go a little bit deeper. You want to make sure your timing is right. So if it's not very clear, right, the 2-hour doesn't look very clear, but if that rolls up and then rolls back down, then it might be more clear. I like the futures market. Low volume moves is just like there's a lot of buyers probably in that, like say a 15-minute bar. There might be a lot of buyers in that 15-minute bar, but the sellers don't show up. So I think that's what happened with the SPY. If you go look at like a 5-minute way down here at the trap that we called out, right? These bars right here, 5-minute for 15, almost 20 minutes, you just did not have sellers that reacted to this. And they just forced it up by buying so quickly that I think sellers couldn't react. I think you might see that again very soon. But PCC isn't rising. They might be forced to do it regardless. The pump just might not be as high. Go look. Got to keep my eye on Nvidia on my other screen. Still looking fine. I think I look for a 30-minute entry here. I think a 30-minute entry makes the most sense. And then see if that dips down, crosses back up. Then I know, okay, we're going to make a divergence. Yeah. Yeah, I think if we see a 30-minute push, it might not be over. We might still see like a downturn and then another fake to the upside. I got to keep everything in mind for Nvidia. Nvidia, the reason I'm only doing one contract on Nvidia, by the way, is just because one, it's manipulated, and two, I'm going to try to like do the trade while I'm live, and that's kind of difficult. I pay attention to a lot of other things. For you guys, pretty much, it's just a little difficult. A lot of the trades I take will be very clear. Nvidia is just one that's manipulated. So, alrighty. What do I think Nvidia will be worth in a year? Well, after the split, I don't know about a year. I keep saying I think in the next 1 to 5 years, I think it'll be worth 60% less. So once it splits, if it's say at $100, I think it goes down to somewhere between or if it's $100, then I think it goes down to somewhere between $40 and $50. I'm not saying it's a bad stock. I just think the environment we're in right now, we're definitely in a AI bubble, and I think Nvidia has the most money in it, obviously. So that's just my take right now. That can change literally by 2 weeks from now. That could change. You know, being a flip-flopper with trading is a very good thing. Being open to being wrong is a very good thing. Being humble and being like, I can be wrong. Let me pay attention to what to look for if I am going to be wrong. That's what I can do. Economy is going to be terrible. Well, actually, the economy could be terrible for a minute, and then it might start to recover and stocks might keep suffering. A bad economy in a good market, right? Technically, we're in a bad economy. The GDP is slowing. And then if that goes negative, then the market's going to react. Technically, you're in a bad economy before the stock market reacts. So then you would say, technically, you might be in a good economy before the market reacts. But we don't know how long this could play out because this signal here is saying it could play out for a long time. The signal right here is saying, hey, this could play out for a long time. If that goes negative, just know, and this could be bumps along the way. This could do this, then 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 do this. Like this could take a long time to fight down, to get all of this money out of the system. And they want that to happen because they need to, they're most likely going to, after all of this is done, I highly assume that nothing will be fixed. The market will continue to be rigged, and then we'll go into a bear market where market makers make the most money. No, I mean, I couldn't like advise you where to invest. I can teach you how to invest. The last time to, if you're an investor, you can pull up a monthly chart, a weekly chart. The last time to invest is you curl up on a monthly scale in positive territory. If you did that, you would have bought down here, not necessarily where it says buy, right? We want to pay attention to when the signal confirms it. Okay, 278 was the last time you should have bought. Now you're holding, you're up 292%. If you're up 292% on a stock in a year, you might want to at least take some profit out, especially when you're seeing crazy signals. Like we still pay attention, right? If we're paying attention to a monthly, we want to see if there's weakness in a weekly, right? You don't have to be a trader that sits in front of a computer all day. If you have a job, you have a good job and you like your job, great. If you don't like your job, great. Awesome. Learn how to do these things. Look at this. Weekly divergence. This is something that can flip over monthly charts. Where's the monthly chart when I invested? Well, it was way down towards 278. If that flips over, it could pull back dramatically. Where could it pull back to? This little area in here. This is where I'm paying attention. It could go further down than that. But that's how you kind of like invest. I always advise my friends to just try to learn technical analysis on a monthly chart, because you'll notice the last time before that it crossed up was right here. So right here, and what happened? Well, we crossed up, we went up 447% in 2 years. And then let's say you held it until that crossed down. Okay, you're still up. This is just swing trading. Just take a random point because it's pretty much the same. 270% and you should be out. That's pretty much what it says here. This is how you do it. And look how simple it is. It's literally like, this is why I don't do 401k. If you want proof of 401k, actually, if you would take all the money that was invested in your 401k, even if they're matching it, you actually would have made more money over time if you just took all that money at the same time and just put it into the SPY yourself. You just got a Robinhood and bought the SPY every single time your 401k was added to, you would have made more money than your 401k. And you'd be, I think the taxes on it too, kind of ruin you because you can't get out of it, right? Reddit's climbing. Okay, let's go back into shorter time frames here. Let me go click on Nvidia. Let's see what's forming here. Nothing really forming. The only reason I'm really paying attention to this too is because the hourly. The hourly is going to be probably my early trigger here because I don't have a weakness signal yet. I'm going to look at the shorter time frames, but if I don't see weakness signal in there, I'm just going to play the hourly and then maybe scale in a second position. Pinterest. I haven't looked at Pinterest in a long time. You got a weakness signal up here, the rejection divergence, big deal there. That's a rejection divergence. So that's where if you start to see rejection, you just look on an hourly. Did that confirm down? It did right here. So technically buy point on the hourly, 42.68 for the downside. And you moved all the way down to here right now. Now you're seeing it scoop back up. We have hourly divergence. It looks like some positivity could come, but it might be a little bit lagging behind, right? We might need some kind of 15-minute roll-up. 30-minute divergence is about to form. So I'd really like it to make that divergence, but you see if the 30-minute curls up, it's right by positive territory. So sometimes, sometimes I'll take a play without divergence, but overall, if you just look at another stock, you're probably going to find one with divergence. Like Amazon here could experience some big weakness, and I would like this play. If Amazon experienced weakness here, this would look very, very nice. Are you going to trade AMD? I'm going to trade Nvidia. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing on Nvidia. AMD, if that just curls up though, you can see positivity. AMD looks more choppy. It does look simple on a 2 hour though, guys. Like this is a simple trade if it sets up. That's the point though. It has to set up, right? It has to set up. It has to give you that divergence point. Okay, if it doesn't give you the divergence point, no reason to take a trade yet. You just look at a 30-minute. If that curls back down, maybe. But Nvidia is really wanting to show me a simple divergence here, and that's why I like it. Look how clear it is. Look how clear it is on the hourly, right? Now all I need is a few bars of positivity, get outside of that weekly range, and boom, that rug might be pulled. AMC, yeah, let's go over to AMC. Let's see what these guys are doing. Hourly was able to get positive. Was the 2 hour for AMC? The 2 hour was the thing that was kind of the problem. Did it roll up and did it go positive? It's trying to go positive right now. That's a very good sign for AMC. Now AMC does follow GME, so we're going to follow that as well. 30-minute, we could still roll over. We could still roll over. This is where we could pay attention to the weekly expected move downside. But don't expect this to be one shot. You know what you're getting into here. If you want to be risk managed, then you first of all might want to get the course. It's $100 for this week, and we're probably going to extend it into all of June because of the craziness going on. If the craziness continues, we'll leave it at $100 so everyone out there can learn. But what are we seeing here? Boom, downturn could happen. So I want to be aware of that, but that could just reject and head right back up. So really, if AMC is going to see the next push, the 15-minute has to curl back up. You notice we curled up for a moment, weakness, weakness. We curled up for a moment. We need that to curl up and get some strength. I think you got a good shot for the 15-minute actually to drop off. And then they say, oh, look, Nvidia is going higher while AMC and GME go down. You should buy Nvidia. And then right when you buy Nvidia, AMC and GME start to rip, and then Nvidia is rug pulled. That's what I think is going on here. Now, that's what I think is going on. I still have to pay attention to the signals. I did not take any profit on AMC. I'm trading one position back and forth. I actually got back into that position. Where did I get back into that position? Right here. I got back into that second position right there. I have two, what do I have? I have two positions as far as options, and then I own the stock. So I bought the stock a little bit here, and I bought a position. It looks good now. It's in the green. It's fine. And then I bought a little more in here with my winnings from the VIX. This is the play I actually took. 30-minute crossed over. Boom. That's the one I took. It was very clear. Now, someone just asked PLTR. PLTR looks like a nice long. Let's see if you're looking at this correctly. Nothing here to convince me it has to go long. If anything, it's saying down. And the 2 hour just crossed down. This says weakness. Now, this had some maybe almost double bottom, right? If this can do this, give me something down here, then I would be slightly contrarian on the downside. Why? Because the 2 hour is really close to positive territory. So I would just see what happens with that. Dollar dropping off. Buy, buying up. Interesting. That's the correct move. 2 hour was able to cross up. I think maybe just a subtle little 2 hour divergence. Now that could play out in a little bit of time, right? We need a daily divergence bind as well. A lot of the time a 2 hour divergence likes to form. And then that's more so when something bad can happen. But it might just be one shot up, one shot down. It doesn't have to do it that way. We're just paying attention to any kind of weakness signals. 9,800 bones and bought back into AMC. Yeah, I'm a little bit more than 3K in AMC and GME now because I bought GME as well. I just bought it on a 5-minute curl up just in case. I'm like, hey, if it hits $100, I think it at least hits $100. So I'm like, I'm staying risk managed, but I might just hold GME for the long run. I kind of bought the stock on GME just to like have some fun with it and buy it for the long run and just hold it, see if anything crazy happens. Yeah, this here is the XLU able to curl up on the 15 minutes. Still curled up, okay? This is a good thing. It's going positive now, so we could see positivity. But the put-call ratio isn't good enough. So we might see a difference between XLU and the SPY at the end of the day here with like a little 5-minute rollover. Notice that hasn't curled up yet. See if that rejects, rolls negative, creates a divergence down here. I think that would be very good. And then we see another rigged move like last week, maybe. Now we have to see all that stuff at the same time. Tesla we haven't looked at, but this one too has the ability, I think, to make a little 5-minute divergence to roll. See how that's really curving down? Oof, that really makes me want to make a divergence at these lows. Come and test this low down here at 174-ish, and then make a divergence on the 5-minute, and then we see a rigged move going into tomorrow. But 15-minute, if that can curl up, then you might not get that divergence. You might just start to go. Nvidia trying to test that level over and over again. It wants to break through. They do not want this thing to drop today. I want this 15-minute to get lower, though. Thing is, the reason I want this to get lower is because I at least want like a 15-minute divergence. So I think this could potentially set up. That would be a better entry for me, a more clear entry for me that there could be weakness and the 2-hour divergence is going to form. And because that time is going to eat away, so the form and then complete if I see a 15-minute or a 30-minute divergence, like a tight 30-minute divergence. If this can just reject, go up now, that'd be good. And then I see this, which is the same thing we kind of saw over here. It's real tight. I think it'll be tight. We'll see. As you said, it's very casual. If I lose it all, I don't care, but that won't happen anyway. Exactly. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. And that's good because now your mental is going to be good the whole time. If you truly do not care about it, you're just like me. You're like, cool. It'd be great for my family. That's all I would say. Lot B. What's lot B? Lotus Bakeries? Let's look it upward. Upward 2-hour, probably the move here. Seeing that confirmed now, so we could see a pop here. I would say very high probability of a higher low still, or lower high setting up. I always do that. Lower high setting up here, but it looks like a decent play. You just have to be able to manage the trade. Manage the trade, very important. You're going to hear me say that all the time because it's one of the most important things that can really set you apart. As a trader, you need to manage a trade. Even if you take an investment, you just don't have to take as much time. That's why I'm saying a lot of people can still benefit from the info if they just say, hey, what's true for a 5-minute chart is true for a monthly chart, but I'm going to see crazier things on a 5-minute chart. So maybe I just want to enjoy my work, spend more time with family, and just look at stocks like once a week. Just every Sunday night, look at things, make sure no weekly divergence is setting up, and then you're good. MSTR? Is that Micron? No, Microstrategy. Okay, this might be, that's a solid flag. This might make a 2-hour divergence. That's what I want to say here. Whoa, wait a second. This is worth how much? Ooh, yeah, you create a 2-hour divergence here and that completes. This might roll over. You can go negative. You could start to take out this logo, test the 200 down at 800. That is a huge thing that could happen. Oh, God, but I have to do Nvidia for everyone. I've got to do it. But 2-hour divergence there looks pretty nice. Find weakness while that 2-hour divergence is forming. That's all I do. Coin should be good. Bitcoin's looked good. Yeah, so 2-hour divergence as well for coin could be solid. Very dependent on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin I think goes and makes some kind of maybe daily. It reacts pretty quick. Little daily divergence. You see how like on every chart we look at that are the big guys, every single one you can almost see a daily divergence or a daily chart that looks like it wants to roll over. AMD, Tesla, shoot, who had divergence? Amazon already had its big divergence, so probably a lower high coming in. Bitcoin, Nvidia has a daily divergence. SPY has some divergence that could form. Qs have the divergence that could form. It's a lot. I can look at some technicals for you and see what you're seeing, but what's lot B? Which one are you looking at? Because I don't know any of these markets. I mean, it's Lotus Bakery. That completed a divergence already. Right there. So this said downside potential. I don't know if there's any reversal signal. Excuse me, sorry. Reversal signal in here at all. Gap down. Yeah, 30-minute. This just want to look weekly. Yeah. Glad I looked weekly. Yeah, this thing is just scaling up really fast. Nothing moves exponentially up forever. That's kind of a sign of a bubble. I would not want to be in this when it pops. If you look at the bigger time frames, you're gonna have divergence all down here. Steep ass divergence too. But it's on the RSI, so this could be a big pullback and then it ends up going up later. But you would say a pullback means it could go down to 7,800. It could go down to the 50 most likely here because the RSI is pretty weak. So 5,700 if this completes. Now it hasn't completed, and on the daily scale, you notice you've gotten some kind of pullback. If that curls back up, this is swing trading. So see how it reacts off the 50, but that's just not a pretty look. If that goes negative, it's not going to be good. The RSI is already below the center line. If you notice, the leading indicator is the RSI. It's already below the center line. It's just, I think there's better stuff to trade than that. Gold, how are you doing? Thoughts on Shop? Yeah, we can look at Shopify. 2-hour divergence, still playing out, looking pretty decent. Risk management not even getting triggered here. So it still looks good. I mean, you'd say it looks good. You always just want to react to what your signals are saying. Shopify. The wonky one. There's your weakness there. Yeah, this one does not look right. Something looks off. Yeah, 2-hour close to the center line. This rolls over at any time. It's not going to be pretty. Now, you did have a good little tiny 2-hour divergence right here for the buy area. And then you would just say, is the daily able to roll up? I assume it was. Yeah, okay. So it was. You just don't have divergence behind it. You're below the 200, and you're seeing it just curve up. So if this 2-hour crosses down at any time, you're in big trouble. This for my trading strategies, it would tell me to look at a different stock. There you go. Okay, this 30-minute might be completing. There you go. Oh, rejection there. Good. So this looks good. All you wanted to do is maybe get some extra confirmation because it was a rejection. 2-hour turns up, but it's deep into negative territory. So I think somewhere in the sell zone, it's probably going to sell off. So it'd just be upside is limited for SMCI. And Microsoft, how did that react? Microsoft was looking wonky as hell. See this one too. It's like, see how it's down low? These ones that are down low like this, you have to be open to this just rolling back to going negative. That's a big deal. It means you could just roll up to this point and go negative. Now, if you're going to build back, you're going to cup and maybe get a small handle and then head up. And your 30-minute will tell you that right there. Yeah, shop just doesn't look, it looks like a 2-hour, it looks like a 2-hour swing trade to the downside. All right, AMC, what are you doing, man? Let's dig into you. That divergence. Yeah, that's divergence with the closing bars here on a 5-minute. It's still trying to go negative. We'll see. 15-minute pulling down. We'll see. Maybe this drops all the way down and then curls right back up. Then GME, maybe this curls all the way down and curls back up. Because these are divergences. These bars right here, well, this bar right here you wouldn't calculate, but right here, these bars right here, and these bars almost down in here, these bars here on that crossover, you can say this looks kind of like divergence, so weakness can't come. It's holding up pretty good. So if the GME is able to curl up on the 5-minute, I'd be more positive on it for a 5-minute chart, right? The 30-minute, Hasn't curled over yet, but it can, right, with that 5-minute divergence. So I'm just saying this might be a moment where it's forced down, right? You see the rejection here from the MACD on the crossing for more positivity. That could curl down, close this gap, and then it starts to go. Same goes for AMC. It kind of rejected, gave you this like slight divergence between this point and this point. You see it on the 15-minute. You see it. You see it. We can curl down and then curl back up. If it curls down and maybe Nvidia sells off before it happens, I'll be probably looking to buy a little bit. I'm only buying stock at this point. There's an upward push. Interesting, the PCC wasn't able to increase. Maybe it will though. Maybe people start to short it, but as of right now, the 2 hours crossed up. Awesome. 15 minutes crossed up. Awesome. On this bar right here, we still got to pay attention. But just know that this could be a rigged move in itself. I know that the insiders were buying here, but this could just create a small divergence here and then they rip it away tomorrow. So just be careful. As the volatility drops off, it looks unlikely. Yeah, dollar dropping down while the market is going up. That's the correct sign. I really think they're just waiting for this PCC. XLU pulling back while the market goes up. That is interesting. Did the 5-minute cross here? The 5-minute cross is down. That's not the best sign for the SPY. It means this actually might be a trap and we might end up doing this and then we see the boom once the puts come in. So watch out. Yeah, we're gonna look at this for a little bit. I don't pay attention to 15-minute on Dixie. 2-hour and 4-hour charts are what you mainly want to pay attention to on DXY. All right, let's see what's going to happen. Is this 5-minute going to curl down, create the divergence by the end of the day, and then it's not going to complete, and then we gap up the next day? That would be very interesting. Right as this sells off, breaks through the low, first of all, it takes out the stops, then it curls down. Everyone goes bearish at the end of the day, targeting, and we still could head down to that weekly move. We just have to see what they're actually doing. Did you get your Nvidia puts? Nope. The setup has not completed. But it could. It could. The hourly's turned up. I'm just waiting for a bigger move. I need a bigger move. And I'm pretty confident. Now, the $1,000 strike points, am I waiting for my contract at 1,000? Right? I haven't bought it yet, but am I waiting for that to sell? No, I'm just seeing if there's some kind of big move down, and then I can risk manage. If I risk manage it, that's what I have to do. It's Nvidia, it's a rigged stock. I think a big downturn could come. You're starting to see volatility come into it, right? Bigger move up. Then it gets nice and tight again, maybe, and then I see something drop off. This company is trying to manipulate people into thinking Nvidia stock will go to 5K, so it drives the stock up. Exactly what I was saying is pretty much what you're saying right now, Rob. Pretty much what I'm thinking is they're going to bait you in. Nvidia is going to go higher while things sell off. So what I think is going to happen is AMC and GME, they sell off, they curl over. This is how I would do it. AMC and GME curl over, they sell off. Then the media can sit there and say, see, AMC is dead, see, GME is dead, it's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible. And then Nvidia goes higher and they go, see, you should have bought Nvidia, you should have bought Nvidia. And that's going to cause people to buy Nvidia. Usually spot on with those positions. I sold out this morning. I already did my volatility play on this upward move right here. Right in the morning, I said, nope. XLU is probably going to pull back. The market's going to pull back. There's too many calls in the market, or way too many calls in the market. So when way too many calls are in the market, I know the market's most likely not going to go up. But yeah, that's what's overall, I think, going to happen. Their AMC and GME sell off. They tell you those are dead. Right when you sell out of those, they say Nvidia is popping. See, you should do Nvidia. It's the outlier. Everything's selling off on Nvidia. Get into it. The split, it's going to take it to 5,000. It's going to take it to whatever. And then literally like next week, it just goes away. I think that would be how I would do it if I was trying to hurt the most people. and then AMC and GME run, and it's like, damn, everyone feels butthurt. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm trading one position back and forth for AMC, but I'm just holding GME stock, I'm holding AMC stock, and I have one position that I'm holding for a option trade in AMC the whole time. What's CCA? If it's on a different one, guys, I stick to, like, my critiques are very, very good for, I would say, US stock. It's like, once we get into this type of stuff, like, yeah, we can look into it. You could probably pay attention to the same exact stuff, but it's just like, just know that my overall skill is in the stocks that I do cover. So when I do give a assessment on yours, make sure that the fundamental data right here, you see the rejection, that makes total sense. Lower high, you're going to see a 15-minute close to the center line that curled into positive territory. See, I immediately can tell what's happening here just by looking at a stock even before I see the 15-minute. Okay, what happened? We popped up, we found a base, then we made a higher low. Okay, now we curled up into positive territory right here, and look at that, positivity comes. That's how you read into your momentum. I hope that was helpful. How market makers do delta hedging, and allegedly they buy shares to cover calls that they have sold that can actually cause the price of the underlying to go up. Yeah, so that'd be almost the opposite of the short selling problem. So that's what they're doing with Nvidia most likely. And that's why I'm saying, like, Nvidia most likely doesn't see a surge upward, right? This could be some kind of fake out calls and then it rips away. It still could be the push higher, but I just would really expect the PCC to be increasing here. But they're trying to bait people into this, and it's interesting to see because PCC isn't rising quickly, which means people are probably not shorting Nvidia as heavily now. And maybe that's going to be a problem for them. The AMC and GME thing could really just mess everything up. It's best to sell right before the split. I don't really go like trade around splits just because it's kind of like another rock in the stream, and I don't know how the market is going to react. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Usually if you're going from 1 to 10, it's kind of a good thing. Usually if you go from 10 to 1, people see it as a bad thing, but it's pretty much the same. It's just you can't, like, when you have more shares, you can like sell half, right? But if the video doesn't crash right after the split, do you think it's a hold then? I still think Nvidia, I'm not going to be, I might trade Nvidia back and forth if we go into a bear market, just to like, because it's going to have huge swings. It'll be very, very profitable if we go into a bear market and see some kind of downward move. But overall, I think from an investment standpoint, all you have to do is do this. You look it up, you look at a weekly, you say, uh-oh, there's weekly divergence. If that completes, that's not a good thing. We're very overbought again. The last time we were overbought, what did we do? We at least moved sideways, right? We at least moved sideways for a little bit down here. But right here, we moved sideways. And then it confirmed an upward move right here. And this was your trigger to get back into Nvidia. It's just I didn't like trading this. I don't like to trade the bubble stocks. I stay away from them. So I should have traded it, right? It's always like I should have, but no. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm pretty spot on with volatility plays. But the bad part about UVXY is like the SPY has to make the move too. So if you didn't know, it's like if volatility skyrockets, but the SPY doesn't drop, you don't make any money off UVXY. So that's the key thing. You have to find weakness in the volatility, or weakness in the SPY, and strength trying to form a base in volatility at the same time. And I've done it a lot, Johnny. It's one of my favorite plays for short-term play. You are up against AI, pretty much. You're up against an algorithm which can read what you're doing in real time. You're pretty much up against AI when you trade the market. That's why I'm saying, like, they most likely do not want... Oh yeah, let me finish that Nvidia point. The Nvidia point here was, I would wait for this to go sideways or pull back, because this is a reversal signal. So if that's going to pull back and curl back up, I'm going to see that, right? It could base out anywhere. This would be a better buy. So it's just a matter of patience. Patience is very important as a trader and as an investor. It's even more important to be patient as an investor, I would argue. Yeah, so they want to hype it up as much as possible. It's going to be most likely at the end of the day, like at the end of all of this, at the end of all this split nonsense, it will be a sell the news event. That is my opinion. We need the stocks to prove that in the signals, but that is my opinion. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, she brought me a sandwich. Give me a sec. The girls brought me a sandwich. How nice is that? Sorry, I gotta pay attention to this for a second. If I'm gonna do this play, I already have it marked off. Let's see how cheap it is now. All right, what is the bid? 3. Ooh, wow, that's way down. I could probably go a little closer now. Might move this a little closer. Take the 115. Do I just take 2? No, I'll do 1 scale in. I'm gonna do the same price. That way I can do a scale in play if I need to. Scott Spencer, thank you so much for purchasing the course. Really appreciate it. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, let me know. I've been getting a lot of emails, people just complimenting the course for the most part, but some people did have some questions. Try to make them not a ton of questions. I can't write a whole strategy for you around the course. The course gives you a strategy, and divergence is one of the easiest strategies I've ever run into. But I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. What kind of Sammy? I don't even know. We got it from a restaurant, and I'm not gonna lie, like my best friend, her like in-law, like her sister's in-laws made it, and I'm like, dude, the appetizer was insane. It was so good. It was like a spicy artichoke dip. I was like, this is the best artichoke dip, like, or maybe it was spinach dip. It was like the best I've ever had. And I was like, this is so good. I will come back for this. I'm so excited for the sandwich. And then the sandwich was a little bit of a letdown. You know when a sandwich is kind of like missing the whole like sauce part and it just tastes straight up like meat? It's like, I like meat, but when I get like a nice sandwich, I want it to taste like, you know, something innovative, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Ah, sorry, I'm opening this up. God dang it, my hands are slick. Yeah, it just tastes like straight up meat. Like pretty much what I got from there. This is her sandwich because she didn't like hers either. But it's not that we didn't like it. It just like didn't live up to the expectations based on the appetizer. I was like, the appetizer was insane. So I think it was bad. It was just like, oh well, if I wanted it pretty much was like a what are those called? Philly cheesesteak almost. That's what it felt like. It was like a Wagyu Philly cheesesteak, and I wanted to try it out. It's my buddy's place. I've never been there. I'm gonna go the 1000 strike just to show you how it can work, and I can even scale in or risk manage at that point. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. You don't have to wait till you're absolutely in the money. Someone will want to buy that. People will get bearish on Nvidia. So what I'm expecting is most likely we dip down to like this level. If that happens quickly, I'll make very good money, and then I can just sell this to someone else, and then it bounces, and then I can buy it back, and then it goes down. Do you think Google is undervalued? Do I think Google is undervalued? Let me just tell you what these signals are saying at this point. We have a 1 hour that's crossed up. We need this 2 hour to cross up and go positive. That would be a good sign. I think Google has more of a likelihood, unless it's an extended move. I think it has a likelihood to just get some kind of lower high. Debbie, no DJing. The old man likes to DJ. But if we're going to see an extended move, then I think this might look like this, and then we'll see weakness maybe next week. Debbie, no DJing, old man. The old man likes to DJ back here. He's always like, hello. Yeah, I'm going to go the $1,000 strike. I'm doing it quick. I'm showing you guys how quick you got to be. 2 weeks out. But if it doesn't, like I said, if it doesn't form, I'm not taking it. I have to let the signals tell me to take it. This could take into tomorrow to figure out. Taking a put, but not right now. I'm waiting. I'll tell you guys the moment I take it for sure, because that's the whole point. It's to show you guys how you can do it. So pretty much this hourly, now we're going to cross through this high. Maybe we go, if we do all of this, this is what you want to look for. It's like you're getting free education right here. If you want to learn all about it in the course, it'll make it more clear. So if you followed me for a long time and you're still struggling with it, I think the course would clear it up for you. If you're just new here and you're starting to like what I'm saying, the course would be perfect for you, because you don't have to watch like 100 videos and watch me do it 100 times to figure it out, because I'm not going to tell you exactly. I'm just going to tell you like really quickly what it is. But if this just goes like this and goes like that, and I have a weekly move, I'm going to take a trade. And then I'm going to manage the trade. And I'll tell you guys if I sell it, because that's what managing the trade is. It's important. Okay, the fries are great. It'll be at 100. But I'm not doing it yet, guys. Don't get overexcited. I'll tell you when it happens. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I got to follow. Don't follow what I'm doing either. This is going to be really hard to trade. One of the most manipulated stocks in the market, and I'm going to do it live. That's why I'm only doing one contract. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not wasting any money on this. If I need to scale in once, I'm willing to do 2 contracts, but that's it. I'm going to buy a short position. I'm going to buy a put at the $1,000 strike. And I'm going to do it fast. I don't want to use a bunch of money, so I'm just going to risk manage it. Okay, I'm only doing 2 weeks out, so I don't use like any kind of money, because this is a rigged stock. Now, if I see the big signal complete, then I might take a month out position. Then I might just hold on to that to the downside. And I'm not worried. My option should adjust after the split. Well, when I first looked at it, it was $700 for one contract at that level. Now that people gave up and the price is going up, and now people aren't buying as many puts, it is only $370. So I thought about buying 2 contracts, but I already told myself I'm only doing 1. It's very cheap now. It's half. It's literally half price from earlier. Did you buy NVDQ? Is that the which one's the NVDS? Is the short one, right? Oh, this is 2 times inverse. Yeah, so this would be like a safer way to play it, but this might have decay in it. If someone knows if this has decay in it, you don't want to do analysis on this, because you're going to get faked out. You're always going to see divergences on this. Look, you always see divergences and they don't play out. You want to see it on the you want to see it on Nvidia itself and then take the play, but this makes sense for the long term. Like, as far as long term, I mean like maybe a couple of weeks. I wonder how that reacts to an adjustment. Like, how does that one react to an adjustment? Does it just go off of percentages? You should probably keep those gals, just saying. Oh, they're staying. They have to stay. I pay all their bills. They can't. Shall we get down? They can't afford not to stay around. They better. That's why she makes me a sandwich. It's nice. She treats me very nice. She takes care of me. Of course, there's always, you know, you're in a relationship, there's always things that bug you about someone. Anyone. Your best friend can bug you. She's like my best friend. Oh, I would not do a contract on a 3 times leveraged Nvidia stock. Hell no. I would not do that. That just sounds awful. Let's look at this real quick. Remember the 5-minute divergence. If that put call ratio doesn't go up, they're going to force some kind of negativity on the market. At least my opinion. Now, the only other thing that could happen if we crash from here is like, oh, well, AMC and GME are exploding. That's what I believe. But as of right now, I think a 5-minute just curling down briefly and then just seeing some kind of rug pulley move. some kind of downturn. What is XLU doing? 5 minute. See, XLU is more pulling down. I think the SPY will follow that. Yeah, the SPY is still going up. I think the SPY will follow that, maybe go down towards the daily expected move. And if that put call ratio ends up going up to about 0.95 to 1, I think that that's when they're going to start to rug pull the downside, and then we're going to see a surge upward. But just that's all I think. Notice all I'm saying is I think. Words are very important. I think. I think doesn't matter. What matters at the end of the day is what I'm seeing in front of me. It's not going down. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. that is facts. They're trying to trick people. Let's see if this trick is lasting. This made sense. This is probably retail. See, this is the big boys. See these big bars? Those are the big boys. This is retail. This might even be retail. Well, volatility looks like it might scale up on a 5 minute right here. I wonder if the SPY will sell off for a brief moment and cause people to go very short. See? All right, let me take a bite of the sandwich. You guys want to hear the crunch? I know you guys like to hear You guys are ASMR freaks, aren't you? Ready? You hear it? Yeah. I'm not impressed. This one's better than the one I had, though. I'll have my camera set up for tomorrow, guys. We got to see how the new internet works with it, but it should handle it. It's kind of like a hot dog. I don't know what it has in it. Some kind of Italian fancy sounding meat, like prosciutto. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It was a fancy sandwich place. I'll say that. It was very cool. All right, now you have the potential for the 15 minute. So it's either 15 minute curls up, divergence here, or 5 minute curl down. I think like a higher low down here would be convincing. Yeah. Qs, what are you looking like? Yeah, Qs, maybe a higher low by the end of the day. Oh, wait, we only have 15 minutes left, so we might like see it in the post market. I think still Nvidia will end up higher soon, but we'll see. 5 minute rolls over, that's not good. But now I can use this level as support. Remember, 1140, very important. Nvidia 1222 by tomorrow. Yeah, see GME moving down, Nvidia is higher. What did we say like all day today? AMC is going to move down. GME is going to move down. People buying it up, that's good. Then Nvidia is going to go higher. And like I said, this could all just play out tomorrow. This could all just play out. It's just people have puts. They don't want people to have puts, so they're convincing people to get puts so they can push the market up. But they're not taking the bait. I love it. I love to see it. It's nothing like Friday. We're not taking the bait. So if the rug pull happened tomorrow, then some retail would make money. I love it. Mint Mobile 12-month plan, unlimited 360 a year plus activation fee. Thanks for bringing up Mint Mobile the other day, Lucas. Yeah, I was thinking about contacting Ryan Reynolds myself and just being like, hey, dude, you want to give me a code to get you guys discounts? Should I do that? I guess I could give you a code, and I think every time you use my code, I make like $5. Mint Mobile is fan-fucking-tastic. A lot of the time, so if you guys are new here and you're looking into what I Like Anime saying, a lot of the time I talk about other things during my videos a little bit in between. Like looking at a chart, I'll just be like, if you want to kind of be like what I'm doing, well, I'm downsizing all of my expenses so that I don't have like any. One of mine was I had a $1,200 a year payment for my cell phone. And I was like, that sucks. I switched to Mint Mobile. They gave me a brand new phone for about, I think it was $500. I got a brand new Google Pixel, the newest one. I got a brand new Google Pixel, and I got coverage for a full year. Now I only get 5 gigs of data, but that's okay. I work from my house. I have Wi-Fi all the time. I'm like, whatever. I'm very good at like, that's the thing. It's like, do I want to spend more or ask someone for their Wi-Fi? I'll just ask them for their Wi-Fi. Saves me like $1 every time I ask for Wi-Fi. Very conscious of risk to reward, homies. This is an awkward move. It's an awkward move because this could just gap down because of GME and AMC. Just an awkward move. XLU's rolling over though, so SPY most likely rolls over. Oh, see the difference between XLU and the SPY now? Not good. They're trying to bait you into going to one side, but like this is cool. Retail's sitting right in the middle. I love it. Because this is technically right in the middle. Are you playing Nvidia? Not yet. I'm being patient. Davidson Ramsey, I'm being very patient with it, but I will. I have it up on my computer. The order is ready. I'll just buy at the I'll buy at the ask. I don't care. That way I can just like hit a button. Not doing some kind of fill. I'm waiting for these signals to tell me when to take the trade. So if this 2 hour can cross up, create that divergence, take the play. As of right now, if the hourly can go test the weekly expected move and crosses over, take the play. That's what I would do. So I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to manage it. But I'm not taking it yet. That's a key thing. I can tell you what I'm going to do, but if the signals do not show itself, then I won't do it. I hope they do. I want to do it so bad. I really do. I was really hoping, like, no offense to retail traders out there, I was kind of hoping they would take the bait so that Nvidia would pump and I'd get to take this trade, but not seeing it. It needs to go all the way up to like 1,200 probably. Once it gets up towards these levels, well, probably 1,180, something like this would make sense. So I don't front run it. Yeah, I'm doing it. The option I was gonna buy was priced at like $700. Now it's only $370. That's true. That's true. But I'm going to do it how I normally do it and show you guys if it works. I think you guys will learn. I'm like the most simple trader probably on the internet. I wait for the set. Like now, I used to freak out all the time. Now I'm just like, oh, setup's there. I'm going to buy that. No, 30-minute cross. I'm going to sell that. Break even. Oh, 30-minute cross back down. I'm back in. This is a very chromoshy stream. I'm down 1K on Nvidia puts. I hold. Well, the hourly just turned up. If this 2 hour curls up, you can see. Oh, sorry, that's a 3 hour. Fuck the 3 hour. If the 2 hour curls up, you're going to see a positive move. It's just that could be brief. So, I mean, if like in the case where I'm in a trade and maybe I didn't risk manage properly and I get out, something I like to do is at least make sure that every trade I have the ability to scale into. Because if I said this is going to be a huge downturn and I take this play right here, and then I see this, technically my risk management would say get out of the trade. But if for some reason I didn't follow my risk management and this did this, and then this, I would wait for that second crossover and scale in. That's how I'd kind of save myself. Nvidia can get expensive though, but I'm showing you how you can take like way out of the money and just like react, be quick with it. Staying stuck with them until expiration for the full loss. I think if we're going to see these signals, ooh, that's true. I'll look into it before I do it. I'll look into it tonight, SR attack. Because I am slightly like, what are they going to do with the contract? I kind of figured they would just 10-to-1 split it again. Yeah. GME, what's happening here is exactly what we said a little bit ago. 30-minute is going to sell off, right? We're going to cross down. We're going to sell off. We're going to go fill this gap. Maybe even go a little lower. 2067. They don't want to be above 20, so 1780 would be another one. And we're going to do this. And then at the same time, AMC is going to sell off and do the same thing. We're going to go fill this gap, maybe even cut below 437. Then Nvidia is going to go up. All these are correlated. Nvidia is going to go up. You notice Nvidia is still holding up. This is so the media can now say, you're dumb, Nvidia's dead. Or I mean, Nvidia is the one you should have bought. AMC and GME are dead. Everyone's worried. And then a few days later, Nvidia falls and AMC and GME pump. That's how I think it's going to play out. I think it's really simple, but maybe it's not going to be that simple. I'll just pay attention to the signals. Yeah. I'm eating a very late lunch, but AMC is the same thing. But the good part about AMC and GME are look how positive they are. So if you see this curl down and curl right back up, that's momentum telling you, hey, stock moves higher as long as that MACD crosses. Very simple. So I think I really like 437 as just a baseline level for AMC. But I wait till that curls up. So if it curls up at like 450, that's where I would actually try for it. What was it? Oh yeah. Is that Clean Spark or something like that? Clean Spark, 30-minute. See over here, you can tell I said like this has to go positive. You see this drawing? That's me saying this has to now go positive. Did it go positive? No, it didn't. Therefore, it turned back down. Not good. Now it made another divergence right when everyone gives up. If this just curls up and goes green, it's going to be a good thing. It could curl up this 2 hour. If 2 hour, if that curls up, hey, it does have potential to go positive. I think lower high looks the most likely for this, but 30-minute signal here. Be tight with it. Got to be tight with a 30-minute signal. God, I'm hiccuping like crazy. Call ratio not doing much. SPY, did we downturn on the 5-minute yet? Oof, I'd watch out for the last 5-minute rigged, man. Yep, acing. I would I'm being very patient. This is what you do. You be very fucking patient. I'm still waiting for some kind of divergence to form. It hasn't even got divergence yet. I want to make sure there is weakness in momentum here. Make sure it is very easy to see. Oh, GME. GME we had marked off. Oh, we didn't give a mark off base. This level's got to be important. $23, 18. Pretty much a line in the sand. It would be like 18. You see the bundle in here. So all this needs to hold up as support. So like 1750 to 18 looks pretty good. Patience is key, especially with options. Buying them means time is against you. Exactly. Time is not your friend in an option. Time is not your friend. Time can be your friend if the move happens quickly. Then you get to make some value there, but I don't have to get overhyped. I'm not trying to get you guys overhyped. I'm trying to show you how a real trader acts. We are chill. We look at a 5-minute. And we look at this and we go, wow, that move is huge. But it looks like trickle up buying. I wonder what XLU is doing. I wonder if that's coming dramatically down and this is actually going to pull back. Wow, XLU is coming down. Now, this is only one signal. You can't read into it very well like that. Dollar's still dropping off while the market drops off. That makes sense, okay? This could still be the SPY catching up. Then I want to see, like, is a 2 hour cooked? No. The 2 hour, see, This could all just be taken care of in the post market or the pre-market, the aftermarket, overnight market, whatever you want to call it. And then the 2 hour, this could just gap up tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why it's like, look how sitting on your hands can make me very, very calm. And you know what? The coolest part about sitting on your hands on a day like this, where it looks like something funky is happening, is like you're one of the people who's not allowing them to take any of your money. It is just as good as a win. What is it? Microsoft. Yeah, 2 hour curling up. That's a great confirmation. I still think lower high looks likely. Doesn't mean that has to happen. I'd really like to see this 30-minute go positive. I'm still worried we make a stronger base here, but we did get a slightly higher low. This doesn't look that clean, but if this goes positive, you can see positivity. I'd say if the 2 hour crosses over, that's a better confirmation. Triple daily negative divergence, but 2 hour divergence. I was thinking roll over pop. Yeah, so 2 hour divergence is good, right? If we get this pop and this makes a 2 hour divergence, that is, you're thinking of it perfectly, Jonathan. You look for a triple divergence, right? Okay, I'll show you this. This one right here. Let's take this point. This is triple divergence across the way. You see it, it's very obvious. Not on the RSI at the same time. So this one here is really just a single divergence with a triple divergence on the MACD. Still a great signal. Right here, that confirms. What's the date there? Wednesday, March 27th. Let's go look at a 2 hour on Wednesday, March 27th. March 27th. All right, so March 27th, the daily confirmed. When did the 2 hour confirm this? March 25th. This is a better position. Then time would eat at you, and then you'd take a position down here a little bit lower. So and then you just manage the trade. But this is how you get into positions a little earlier. You just look at the shorter time frame. You see weakness in the move when you see a daily divergence. Give away so much info for free. It's insane. If you need it to be really, really clear, take the course. It will speed things up. Most people that message me after they get the hang of it just from watching the YouTube videos, they say it takes, some of them have said like, oh, after like 30 YouTube videos straight and studying it, I was able to get a grasp of it. But I've only had one person message me and be like, I religiously studied your videos. I've watched over 100 of them. I've been watching you for months now. I joined the Patreon. And then he was like, I didn't want to pay for the course, and I think I understand your strategy. And I was like, cool. And then he took the course and he was like, yeah, I made it a little bit more clear, but he goes, I pretty much learned everything. I think that's cool. Be careful. It's not out of that weekly expected move yet. You still got a big move ahead of you if you want. Remember, if everything else is going to be slow, they can just leak it up with the SPY. You're getting kind of an inverse hammer here. Success leaves clues. But XLU, you see that rejection? That looks completely different right now, so I'm not too convinced. I think something sketchy is going on here. But this could be XLU like confirming downside, like a crash. If you think of it that way. Oh, look at that. Did puts go up? No, they didn't. They just did it at the end of the day. Interesting. Look at that push. We thought there would be a push, but this might be a trap. I wonder if people just take a bunch of calls at the end of the day. Who's got order flow up? That is an interesting move. Give me a sec. Give me a sec here. What's the data tomorrow? Are they gonna? Is this before open? No, it's after the open. Jolts. If that goes lower, job openings goes down, that is inflationary. So if this number comes in lower, that's inflationary. Job openings down means more people have the jobs, right? Wait, yeah, I got that. There's so much data to pay attention to. The thing is, it could. I still think SPY makes a either matches the high, tries to come compete with this, or comes and touches that weekly expected move. I'm still a fan of that move. I'm confused at this point. Is that what you just said? See, I don't even care if I'm confused. I'm just waiting for a trade setup. Look how silly I am. I'm so silly. I looked at one stock most of the day, and it's starting to make my trade setup, but it hasn't confirmed, so I can't take the trade. Now, what could I look for in here? Well, there might be a 5-minute divergence forming. You see the divergence on 5-minute, but that didn't confirm, so no reason to take the trade. We just had a breakout. Very unlikely that that comes and turns way back down. 15-minute divergence, maybe that sets up really early for me in the morning, but I think we're just going to turn up this 2-hour. I think we're going to see a move up. It's going to open up, then maybe we get bad data and that starts to pull down, and then we get some like double top maybe in the future. Up 20% on the SPY. Congratulations, Claudio. Great job. That's what we like to see. Taking profit. Hell yeah. As far as trade setups goes, I'm going to start to review these charts and start to work on a little YouTube video for you guys, man. Actually, I might... Ooh. Part of me is like, I need to take a break, man, but I can make a YouTube video. I think it's good to pay attention to. Just, it felt like kind of a bleh. You had all the excitement from GME and AMC, and then it kind of just went bleh. So how about this? How about I take a little break for tonight? That way I get to hang with Mama Bear. And then in the morning, we'll do a little breakdown in the morning. See what happens. But as of right now, sorry for talking with food in my mouth, the 30-minute has crossed over for GameStop. So we could expect most likely a pullback, right? The momentum shifting down, but the post-market for GameStop is an interesting place. The pre-market for GameStop is an interesting place. Which trading view account? I'm pretty sure I used basic. Like I used the one tier up from free. I used to use like all the bells and whistles, have a bunch of stuff on my charts, and I was like, this is way too much crap. I took your course this weekend, and I'm an experienced trader, and it was a really good refresher. Hey, O Family Adventures, I hope you liked it. Like I said, O Family Adventures, you're someone who's been here for a while, right? So you're going to understand that course. Maybe it just clears a few things up for you, makes it a little bit more concise. There is still value in that, but it's overall just saying like, hey, now you don't have to watch, like if you're new, you don't have to watch 100 days worth of videos to really get the hang of it. I'll just tell you it in 1 day's worth of a course or 2 days worth of a course, and then boom, you're good to go. King of Light, thank you for showing up today. We appreciate it. The end of the day stream is a little more chill because retail hour is usually the craziest. But we will be back here in the morning, guys. We will be back here. We'll be hanging out. So if you want to learn how to trade this stuff, we could see some good setups. And then the Patreon, I'll be posting some stuff. Most likely making a Patreon video tomorrow. I might even have to just post stuff like live to Patreon because there's some setups showing up. Still like this one. Weirdly enough, I like the Nvidia setup. But I'm just thinking like Nvidia could do this, then this, then this. Give me a 30-minute signal. I think that'd be great. All right, guys. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to hold off on a YouTube video for tonight. I'm just going to take a little break. I've been hitting it really hard. And this weekend, we still had a lot going on. So I'm going to take a little break from YouTube tonight. And then tomorrow, I'll come back fresh and ready to go. And I will do a breakdown first thing in the morning. So show up live tomorrow. We'll go through all the stocks just like our regular analysis. Give me some time to look over these charts because some funky behavior. The dollar going down while the market was going down. So we knew that there would be some kind of pop at the end of the day. And then it just kind of like trickled up and then just bursted again. So another kind of rug pull there. SPY weekly MACD is primed. Look at this bad boy. Look at that thing. It's ready to curl up for maybe a couple more weeks. It could still happen. Take some time. I think we got a good shot to curl up this daily MACD and then see something like that. Maybe even going on into later in June. We still have to wait for the full setup. This could take some time to play out. maybe going on, there's a rug pull over the weekend. We'll have to see. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully you guys found this stream helpful. I know it wasn't as exciting as the morning, but the morning's always more exciting. Until the last 5 minutes, apparently, where they just rig everything. But we are still happy to be here. We're trading like water. We're being patient. Very, very good things for traders to be patient and all that good stuff. You need to learn about this stuff. Course is only $100, guys. Probably the whole month of June. But remember, the sooner you get it, the sooner you can start to, learn these signals really key and then go into it, maybe a week later and try some real money. So thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I wish you guys nothing but luck with your trades moving forward. I really, really do. I want you guys to be successful. There's no reason for me to want anything else. Like, I really do want you guys to learn. People who have emailed me can attest to that, hopefully, but like really do. And I'm really proud to see a lot of people in here when they send me a setup now, I can tell who's like taken the course or been a part of the Patreon for a while. And I love seeing the fact that people are sending me better setups. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.